One of the arguments against this is, well, people don't know what's in the ground, so how can we tax them? Well, if the stuff is not in the ground, they won't pay any taxes. See, because these companies are going to make a ton of money, and I'm for free markets and free enterprise. But we've got to get some of our share, and I'll tell you another reason, Colleen. This prosperity shouldn't just be reserved for a part of Ohio. It ought to affect all of Ohio, and it will strengthen Ohio.
Governor Kasich says one energy company expects to make $1 trillion on Ohio's oil and gas resources. And he expects fracking to generate $500 million a year for the state, if reluctant lawmakers can be persuaded to accept that 4% tax.
Hey, look, we don't have to work them over or accuse them of anything or beat them up. I mean, it's just like look at the facts and make a good decision.
The governor believes with patience and persuasion he can get lawmakers on board and for the personal income tax cut. He's leaning on the art of diplomacy, something he's embraced even with the Democrat in the White House. Most recently joining President Barack Obama and the British Prime Minister at a college basketball game in Dayton.
These lines of communication must be opened. I talked to them about our health care reform. I've talked to them about, as I said, about energy. I've talked to them about Piketon. This ability to be able to communicate, because, you know, Colleen, I have to tell you, the greatest shocking thing that I've seen being back in politics is the lineup of Republicans and Democrats.
Kasich points to his days in Congress when he worked with President Clinton to balance the federal budget. But now, with Ohio gaining jobs and possibly generating hundreds of millions of dollars in fracking revenues, he's getting pressure to claim all the credit. So none of it can go to the White House in an election year.
What people sometimes don't understand, they wouldn't understand about me, is my validation comes from a higher place, you know. We start worrying about who gets credit and arguing over that. We're insulting people who have been out of work, and I don't want to do that. I mean, I've been in this too long, and I'm getting too old to be sitting around saying, give me the credit, you know. I'm not going to do that. And I've told the president that. You know, I said, look, you know, people want me to take credit, and, you know, I said, I'm not going to do that.